Hey everyone, DarkDragoon here with Season 2, Episode 7 of my FTB Modpack Let's Play. As you can see, we're getting started today with our assembly table. We went ahead and get this thing going, making some more of these iron AND gates for ourselves. We also have set it so that it's alternating between making the gate and then making another iron chipset to replace the one it uses when it makes a gate. We're going to need quite a few of these for a bunch of stuff we're doing, so you can see I've already got 4 in here. But, so yeah, I'm just going to let this run and do its thing for a little while because we're going to need quite a bit of those. So to get us started today, you can see I did some digging into the ground, and there's a power line running down through here. It's actually connected over here to our liquid transposer that we got set up over here, so now it's getting power from our cool system as well. So, that done, I want to move right forward with pretty much picking up where we left off last episode. And to do that, I want to get into some railcraft stuff. And so let's do that right now. We're going to make ourselves a cool little machine called a rolling machine. And you can see I've already got myself a piston plan in here because we're going to need quite a few pistons to make a rolling machine. We're going to need 4. So I'm just going to make 4 of those using our sweet piston plan. And then we're going to need a crafting table. And then that can go away. So it should be something like this. Cool, rolling machine. Now, I did go ahead and make myself a spot to put this, at least for the time being. I don't know if this is where this will stay, but as you can see, there's a little power line coming off the side here and coming up. So we're going to slap the rolling machine down. Now the rolling machine does need buildcraft power, so there you go. It's powered. You can see the internal buffer here is full of power. Cool. So the way the rolling machine works is that it actually makes quite a few different things. It can make rails. It can make all sorts of things, all sorts of fun, cool things. But what we're going to do is we're going to use it to make some railcraft tanks. Well, particularly by tanks, I mean tank. Because what we got to do over here is we're going to make a big tank to keep our lava stored in once it gets here into the factory, which is going to be cool. So pretty simple. What we're going to need is we're going to take 9 iron. Should be, or maybe it's, I always think it's 9, but I'm pretty sure it's 4. There we go. And you can see it'll make 3 iron plates. We're going to need quite a bit of these. I think we're going to just go ahead and tell it to go ahead and make all those. And as soon as it gets the recipe it needs, it'll go. Now, when this finishes, you can see it runs pretty quickly. But when it finishes, it'll actually leave one last bit of materials in here, pretty much like an auto crafting table. But we can go ahead and make it pull that out by clicking on our little iron plate here in the middle. The little thing that's showing us what it's making. I'm not actually sure if this is going to be enough iron plates, but we're going to need a couple other things. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit more iron. I think we might have the glass panes that I'm going to need, but let's take a look over here. Pretty sure we've been keeping them here. 37, that might do it. Yeah, this should be okay. Yes, so I'm going to go back over here. By the time we get over here, our rolling machine should be done running. Yep, and I'm going to go ahead and tell it to make this last one. If we need any more of these iron plates, which we quite possibly will, we'll just go ahead and make some more. So, making tanks. They are really cool. What we're going to need to make tanks, we're going to need 3 particular different types of blocks. The first and most obvious are the iron tank walls. These are the things we're going to need the most of. They're pretty simple to make, just 4 iron plates in a block like this. We're also going to need a couple of these iron tank gauges, which are pretty much the glass parts of the tank. As you can see, also require 4 iron plates, but they also require glass panes. And we're also going to need a couple of these iron tank valves, and I'll show you how all of this comes together as soon as we've made all of it. Looks like I also need a couple levers, so let me grab those real fast. Right, I think we have a couple already made. Yes, perfect. Alright, so let's get crafting. So we can start off with these, because, oh, why not? My mistake, I gotta make some of these iron bars first. And one stack of them should be fine. There we go. And we should just need one set of these because you can see we get 4 for every 4 iron plates we use. So we're gonna need probably a few of these. Let's do 4. If we have a few left over, it's okay. We'll always have the chance to use these iron tanks for other various things. And the rest, I'm just gonna, yeah, we're definitely gonna need to make some more iron plates, as that's not gonna be nearly enough. So I'm gonna get that going. I think I'm just gonna put the rest of the iron that we have in here. There we go. And let's take 2 more just to make it even, shall we? Cool. Alright, while that's going, I'll pop over here. Luckily, because this is a 2x2 crafting thing, we can do it just in our crafting block there. I just noticed something. My skin is not on today for some reason. I'll have to look into that. Anyway, so iron tanks, cool, right? Pretty simple. You can see I've already sort of laid out a little bit what we're going to be doing here. So I'm going to replace all this dirt with our actual iron tank walls. We're probably going to do, I'm thinking a 3x3 tank is probably going to be plenty big. So pretty simple way to make these tanks. Basically what we want to do is we want a solid bottom, a solid top, and then the corners will be our iron tank wall pieces. We're going to put one of our iron tank valves on this side, and we're going to put another one on this side. That'll let liquid come in and leave the tank. And then we're going to basically put our glass sides in like so. Now these tanks can be of varying sizes. I am trying to remember how tall they can be when they're 3x3. I'm pretty sure we're not going to need it to be much taller than this. I think this looks good. Let's take a look from the side. Yeah, because if we put a lid on it, it'll be 3x5. Yeah, that looks good. They can also be like 5 by something. We could do 5 out on the bottom, and then I'm pretty sure they can be as tall as you want, probably to a certain limit. But I think that's going to be big enough for now. So now we just need to make sure we have enough of these iron plates. So let's just grab these out of here. Cool. And we'll make those into some walls. Now this probably, this might be getting close to being enough. Maybe. Let's just get the corners done here. Yeah, we're gonna need 2 more technically, so let's see, probably that should do. Get that going. Yeah, that should be, that'll give us 6. Actually, we need, like I said, we're always gonna have some of these left over because they don't exactly come out very even to what we need, but that's okay. Let's see, lots of uses for these iron plates, so not a problem. So let's go ahead and take our plates and make the last bit of tank wall we need. Excellent. So Let's go ahead and use some of this dirt to climb up, and we'll put a cap on this tank. And voila! Now you might have noticed that as soon as we finish the block, our glass fused together. And so now if we right click on the tank, we can see it's got a internal tank capacity. This is 720,000 units, which means it can hold 720 buckets worth of liquid. And this can hold any kind of liquid. As far as I know, there's not a single liquid that it can't hold. We're going to obviously be using this one to hold lava, but we'll make lots of iron tanks eventually to hold all sorts of cool things. And then of course we can put buckets into the iron tank to fill buckets up and etc. So we're not really going to have to worry about that because this tank is going to supply a set of engines that will be giving us some more buildcraft power. Nothing wrong with some more buildcraft power. So that done, I think it's time to move on to basically getting the automation set up on this whole system, and we're going to use red power to do that. So let me go ahead and get the stuff together for that, and I'll meet you guys back over at the project table. Alright, I'm back, and as you guys can see, I went out and got myself quite a bit of sand since we were definitely out, and we're definitely going to need some. So I'm just going to pop the sand into our alloy furnace with some coal, because we're going to need quite a few of these, and might as well get a bunch. Silicon bowls. I think we're only going to need a couple, but one other thing we're going to need to actually make use of this is we're going to have to make ourselves a diamond version of a handsaw, because I'm pretty sure this one can't cut the bowl. No, it cannot. So, pretty simple. You guys might remember this recipe. Let's see, our iron is all back over in our factory room. So let's pop over there real quick. Grab just a couple pieces. Should be fine. Check to see how our assembly table is coming along. Nice, we got 9 gates. That's not bad. Not a bad start. We're definitely going to need a lot for what we're doing, and what we're going to be doing moving on. That was not what I wanted to do. So, pretty simple. Should be something like this. And, of course, I would forget the diamonds while I was in there. Just run over here. There we go. 2 diamonds. We don't have a lot of diamonds, but hopefully I can do some little more mining after we get finished with working on this. So, get ourselves a diamond handsaw. If we take that with a silicon bowl, will give us 16 silicon wafers. This should be done. Obviously, it's used up all the sand it can. So I'm just going to take our handsaw and go ahead and chop these up. Like I said, we're going to need quite a few. Let's do this. Let's take some of our redstone into the alloy furnace with some of these silicon wafers. And you can see it'll run, and it will give us, it's a little bit slow, but that's okay. It'll give us red doped wafers. Now I think I'm gonna need 2 of these, so after this one's finished I'm just gonna go ahead and let this thing go. Okay, let's go ahead and put our sand away. I think that's all we need that for. Throw that in that barrel there. I have not decided where I want to permanently put our chests, so I'm still sort of working that out, but that's a side issue. So we're going to need a couple of these filters is what we're going to make. Pretty simple recipe. You can see cobble, a piston, some gold, and a couple of these red dope wafers. So the fact we have 2 means we're going to be able to make 2 filters. So let's pop over into our project table and once again make a couple of pistons. We're going to need 2. Go ahead and do that just so that we can get our second one there. Throw that down there. So we're going to have to get ourselves a bit of cobble, which we had in here, and a bit of gold, which we have in our chest right in here. So we're going to need 4 of that, I believe. So let's go ahead and throw this together to make our filters. Should be something like this. Let's see. And then cobble. Cool. And there we go. 1, 2. 2 filters. Cool. So the first one we're going to set up in here between our ender chest here and our liquid transposer. Now I'm not sure if we've actually made a screwdriver yet. Let me take a look. I don't think we have. If we have, it should be in here. We've not. So let me just grab some sticks and screwdriver. Cool. Screwdriver is from Red Power. It's pretty much almost like your buildcraft wrench, but the screwdriver works for manipulating all the Red Power machines. So we're just gonna flip this around. I believe we want it to be facing this way, where the little plus sign side is facing our inventory that we're pumping items from. Now, this works pretty simply enough. Let's see if we can just slap a button on here for now. You can see basically filter has an inventory, and what we're going to do is we're going to tell it that we only want it to pull lava containers out of here. So if we put a lava container in the filter, it'll only pull out lava containers, full lava containers. Now the reason why I'm doing it that way, if we didn't have it set like this, if we just had this empty, it would pull out anything in the inventory and send it along here. But since we're going to be using this inventory to hold both full lava containers and empty ones as this finishes processing, we would definitely want the filter to know that it's not supposed to pull out the empty ones. Our system on the other side will be set up the opposite way. It'll be set up to pull out the empty cans and leave the full cans. So it should be simple enough. Basically, whenever this thing receives a redstone signal, it'll tick and it'll pull out a can from in here. 19, you click it again, 18. Cool. Now we're going to set this up automatically so we don't have to sit here pushing a button, but definitely want to show you guys how that worked. So, with that done, let's go ahead and get ourselves moving forward with automating that filter. That way we can do that in the nether as well. So you can see I'm just taking some smooth stone and I'm popping it in a furnace, and it's pumping out these stone wafers. These are also from Red Power. We're going to need quite a few of them. So these things have tons of uses, particularly in making all sorts of these little components for Red Power logic gates. Now, let's see here. Let's type in gate and see what we get. Here we go. There's all types of gates, and they all do various different things. And they're very, very useful, particularly for our Red Power signals and sort of automating some things. But we're not going to actually be making a gate. We're going to be making a timer, which you can see the recipe here. And we need a bunch of these random little bits to do that. So let's go ahead and get started on that, shall we? So pretty simple. We're going to need 2 timers total. So we're going to need, I didn't mean to do that. We're going to need 2 of these cathodes, and we're going to need 2 of these stone pointers, which means we actually are going to need 1 more of these. There we go. Come on. Get out of there. Okay. No, go back there. It looks like we're going to need some more redstone. But we're going to need a couple stone pointers. And then we're going to need a total of 6 of these stone wires. Obviously we need quite a bit more stuff. So let's run back over here. Grab some redstone out of here. That should do. And check one thing for some of these stone walls. I hope that's going to be enough, but you know what? These things are always useful, so let's just get ourselves a little bit more smooth stone so that we can make some more if we need. Alright, so we have our cathodes, we have almost all of our wires. We need 2 more. Okay, and then we need a couple of these. One more. Stone anodes. 2 sets of 3 should be plenty. So, with that done, we definitely do need some more. Throw our handsaw on the ground. Definitely do need a couple more of these wafers, these stone wafers. 6 should do. Pop that in the furnace. Because we're going to need 4 total of these just blank stone wafers. And there we go. Let's go ahead and get these timers made and finish up our system. Okay, here we go. Those there should be something like this. Yes. So, timer. Now, I actually think what I'm going to do is going to go ahead and find ourselves some of our indigo flowers and some paper. We're going to make ourselves another one of these, a couple more of these blank plans. And we're going to use it to save our timer recipe. Because we're going to make lots of timers, I'm sure. So it never hurts having them. So, as usual, don't have to clear the inventory, but I like to see the ghost blocks there. Cool. And we can take that out. And we should be set. I think that's all we needed. So, let's go ahead and grab ourselves some pipes. I believe we have some sitting over here. Yes, stone transport pipes. I'm trying to decide if we're going to need some golden pipes or not. I think we might. Let me go ahead and get our piping all together here, and when I come back I'll finish up the system and we'll be good to go there. So I'll be right back. Alright, I am back, and as you can see we are back at our alloy furnace with some copper ingots and some tin to make ourselves some brass ingots. I'm going to go ahead and make quite a few of these because these never hurt to have a couple extra. Let's just go ahead and use up all the tin that we pulled out. And go ahead and show you guys what exactly I've planned. Basically, if we put a couple of these in with some glass, just like we would with buildcraft pipes, we get pneumatic tubes. I think we're going to need these. Maybe not. No, I know for a fact we're going to need them, particularly in the nether. I do not think we're going to need them here, but that is okay. So basically just going to let this go because I think we've got everything we need to wrap up what we were sort of doing. So this is pretty simple enough. I think we can get away with something like this. Let's see here. I think, okay, looks like we cannot slap it onto the side of the tank. I'm trying to remember how I best did this before. Yes, I believe I did this before. I had all this stuff not right up against the tank. I had a thing in between. Okay, that's alright. We can just take a bit of our stone, cover up a little bit of our thing. I don't really like doing it that way, but you know, alternatively, I could, because we have piping under there. Let me take a minute to figure out where exactly I want to put this timer, and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I've dug my way underneath our machines here, and I think I've figured out exactly how this is going to work. And I think this is going to be fine to set up here because our pipes are going to come down pretty low before they come up into our ender chest. So I put this right up against here, we can just see it automatically starts ticking away. And every time the timer ticks, you can see it emits a redstone signal. It emits it along these 3 paths, so if we put if we put a lever down here, you can see we can actually turn off the entire timer with just a lever. I don't think we're really going to need to do that, because this thing can pretty much just keep pulling lava containers out so long as this has work to do, and we should be fine. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab some of our waterproof pipes, because we're going to need a little bit of that. I think we're only going to need 1 piece for over here, but that should do. Looks like our furnace is done. I want to toss this stuff back in here to keep going. There we go. Because it had stopped running because it had run out of redstone. So, that done, let's go ahead and put our waterproof pipe right here on our transposer. Boom, and you can see it's already flowing out of the transposer and into our tank. Cool, and you can see that is slowly filling up. So, with that done, let's go ahead and give this system something to do with the empty cans that we're getting in our liquid transposer. Pretty simple. What I'm going to do is just run some piping down along here. I can see around our energy conduits there. There we go. And I'm just going to run them up like so. And then I'm going to take a golden transport pipe and hook it up to the side here. That way the cans will come flying out. You can see as soon as I put them on there, they started to fly through the piping. And it looks like they're running out of speed pretty fast, so I might want to throw another golden pipe here. I'll wait until these cans have come through. Looks like most of them should be through now. And yeah, we'll just put it right there. There we go. And that runs right back into our ender chest, which, as you can see, our filter is not clicking anymore because it doesn't have any work to do. So, I believe that is finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover all this up like so. You can see mostly covered up here, and runs pretty fast. As you can see, we had only 21 buckets worth of lava cans, so looks like, yeah, it looks like our assembly table has finally run its course as far as its ability to keep up with the amount of power we had in here. We completely drained out this redstone energy cell. These obviously are not very efficient for powering something like our assembly table, which uses quite a bit of power, but that's going to be fixed pretty soon. So I think we're getting pretty close to the point where we have to call this episode, but before I do, I definitely want to finish getting this system set up on the nether side, and that's probably where we'll call it. And then when we come back next episode, we'll be able to set up the next part of this whole process. And so what we're going to do is, I don't want to dig into the ground here because, as we all know, there's just a sea of lava down there. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our system basically on top, and we're definitely going to need our screwdriver. But let's see here, we're going to need an empty can, because remember, this filter needs to just pull out the empty ones so that they can be sent along here. And we're going to set the top input to blue. That way we can just move stuff right along into the top. Cool. So let's get this thing flipped around properly. It should be like so. This is apparently going to be extremely pesky. Don't really want that coming out there. Okay. Should be something along these lines. There we go. And that should work. If I go ahead and slap a button down on here and click it, you'll see the can will get pulled out and go right into our liquid transposer where it gets filled, and then it immediately gets tossed back over here into the chest. Cool. So just like we did before, we're going to slap a timer on this, and I'm trying to think about how would be the best way to do that. Let's see. We could just do it as simply as putting, let's just put a bit of cobble on the back of this chest. Not the prettiest setup, but then again, we also have some over here for our redstone torch. So we'll just set that up, and it should be fine like that, but I like to have the, unless I have multiple things coming off the timer, I like to have the little redstone torch side facing what's being powered. So that is completely working now, completely automated. Pulling stuff out of here, pulling the proper empty cans out, sending them into our liquid transposer where they're getting filled, and then filled cans are being pushed apparently very quickly, so fast we can't see it, through here, straight into our ender chest. So, yeah, I'm liking that. So, next episode, we're going to set up a system to automatically keep this powered when it needs to be. That way we don't have it, as you can see, it's getting pretty close to the red point, because it doesn't have any work to do. Eventually it's just going to overheat and it's going to stop running, and we're going to have to whack it with the wrench to get it going again. But with the system we're going to set up next episode, we will not have to worry about that anymore. So stay tuned for that. We're going to automate this, get this finished up, and then we're going to pretty much make use of this whole trouble we went to by getting ourselves some more buildcraft power, and from there I'm not sure where to go, so I'll have to put some thought into it. So until then, this has been episode 7 of my season 2 FTB Modpack Let's Play. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and stay tuned for next episode. Catch you guys later.